Okay, we're good, we're live, we're racing, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are live for RPL F2 in RPL. We are at the Silverstone circuit, and we are off on for one-shot qualifying in this event. Now, we have a full team, a full grid involved for today. 20 drivers, all walks of life, everywhere. Like I said, we have a lot of drivers involved in today's race, so this is where things is going to get interesting. Last week was in so last week was in Baku, where both races was won by Luke, who also collected his 80th RPL career victory in his career. But here's what things is interesting. Luke is racing today, so he is also one win away from 40 career F2 wins, and by looks of it, holy wow! Tadpole gets pole position by 0.02 of a second, and so many people got disqualified from the session for invalidating a lap. Holy hell! I mean, let's take a look. Look at this. 12 have done that. Well, anyways, this is our group. This is how the feature is gonna look. Is all these drivers here. But here is what the sprint's gonna look like. So we have Mythic and Gerard, aka B1960 Grandpa, in the front row. George and Valkyrie making up row number 2. Pinarello and Beatnik making up row 3. Jacksta and Luke making up row 4. And Bourbon and Tadpole will be row 5. Now that is there for that. So, like I said, so last week, Baku, both races was won by Luke. Sprint, the rest of them was Ads and Flaw for the sprint, and then Tadpole and Flaw for the feature. In the Drivers' Championship, it still remains the same, 44 points between Jack and Beatnik, because the two didn't race in Baku. Tadpole jumps into 3rd in the standings, while Luke is sitting in 4th. In the Constructors, Dams has caught ART. They're 6 points behind, and Charus is not far behind either, with 78. They're 3rd, 51 points behind ART. Now, well, by looks of it, it's going to be a wet sprint to kick things off. So here we go. The 5 lights come on for the wet sprint. And we're lights out and away we go. Looks like a very good reaction by Mythic. A good reaction from George as they head off into turn number 1, and almost a squash between the two high-techs and Valkyrie as they head off into turn number 2. Mythic leads the field into the loop, and look at this, 5 wide into turn 3. Good God, even though it was only brief, but 5 wide into turn number 3. That is just insanity. What a moment there, but anyways, as more cars just finally in. Oh, we got a spin. Ooh, that was Luke and Chaco getting together. Pinarello, right below, had to take evasive action and almost caught Jack in there. Meanwhile, George is just taking the lead from Mythic as they head down the old pit straight. Meanwhile, just a bit further behind, there's Jacksta right behind Beatnik, and we got trouble. That is Bourbon and Fanflo involved. Oh, contact! That looks like Gerard. Looks like Gerard got loose, and oh boy, and Beatnik tagged by Jacksta. He's off and around, and he goes bonked by Valkyrie. So Beatnik in trouble, Valkyrie in trouble. Good Lord above. The heck? I'm not sure what happened. I did see contact between either Jaxa or Gerard with Beatnik. Beatnik losing a piece of his front wing. Then there was contact again. We're gonna have to review that to see who was involved in that contact. But I mean, it could have been Jaxa and Beatnik, or Gerard did get involved. We don't know. Well, Gerard's just getting really loose as Jaxa is battling Mythic for second place. Meanwhile, George ahead. Oh! And contact between Jaxa and Mythic. And Jaxa comes out awful. That is 10th. Then he falls down to 10th. Mythic plummets down to 5th because of that contact. He was sliding. We did catch the onboard on Jaxa's side. It was possible maybe that Jaxa turned too soon, and Mythic, I mean, he was as far right as he can get. Looks like Chaco has gone around, out on the exit of the loop, and that brings out a yellow in Sector 1, but no safety car, no VSC, we are good to green, and Flaw muscles his way against Mythic. Gets into 6th place, and Tampo says, thank you very much, I'll gladly take advantage of that. And he's up into 7th, and Jaxa gets himself back into the points, clearing Mythic as he goes way wide off the track. Guess he got a little goosey on that one. But anyways. Yeah, chaos and carnage in the first 2 laps. We've seen multiple contacts. We've seen crazy moments. And that is just wild there. And looks like Fat Flo has called it in Sector 2, just out of cops. And I think it looks like he may have just lost control and crashed, but we do not know. But anyways, Flaw challenged by... Well, actually, it was Flaw right there. It's Jack and Luke challenging. These two, they're good friends, but also hard rivals. Jack, the team principal, the co-team principal of Mercedes. Luke, the team principal of Red Bull. Luke, by the way, in Dams. Jack, ART, these two within 6 points in the constructors for right now. Jack, the championship leader. Luke, 4th in the standings. And also another note. Oh, Jack's got damage to that wing. Holy, did not notice that. I did not notice that till then. But there he goes, down the inside. See if he can try to get past Luke. Now it's going to be on the outside, though, into left field. Luke still stays ahead. Meanwhile, a little further back, battle between Mythic and FBL. Now, Mythic is not having a good day, to say the least. He was leading for half a lap, and wound up getting tagged, but then wound up getting involved in an incident with Jaxta. So that wasn't good there. There's Leighton right behind him. Wiseau sitting in 9th place. He's got over 2 seconds to catch Jaxa, who's sitting in the final points position right now. But I mean, Jaxa was involved in that contact with Mythic, so that could be noted to the stewards possibly. As Flaw, by the way, just got himself past Jack. Now, by the way, Flaw, why don't we just mention off with Flaw? Flaw, this is his third ever RPL race. I think it was either 3rd or his 4th, but in his first F1 race, in his first race in RPL, in F1, he got a podium in an LP. Then in his first F2 appearance, he got both podiums in both the sprint and feature. And looks like we have more trouble. It looks like more cars are just getting themselves into trouble here. As you can see, Wavy, 10-second penalty, now 15-second. Seeing track limits and speeding into pits, and now he's out. That's our second retirement of the event. Meanwhile, Jack and Tadpole were just fighting about for the 6th place position. Tadpole saw an advantage to try to get by, but just can't seem to get it done. Meanwhile, Luke just getting past Pinarello for 3rd. Now, Pinarello, I forgot all about him. Pinarello was like right around in the midfield, hanging around in the 4th or 5th spot. Jumped up in the 3rd because of Jacksta and Mythic's contact earlier in the race. Now he's being pressured hard by Flaw, and he backs off to let Flaw through. Well, actually, he has a bit of a better exit out of Cops, but unfortunately, he's not close enough to warrant an attack in Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. So Pinarello is gonna have to hold off and just wait for now. Pinarello, though, he is sitting in the 5th place spot. That's 3 points for right now. Speaking of which, we also just note that it is right now a high-tech 1-2 right now. George is leading. Gerard is sitting in 2nd place right now. So high-tech is looking pretty decent right now in the 1-2 position. However, Luke is sitting in 3rd, which is 6 points. Jack is just fallen to 8th. And Tadpole just goes wide off the circuit, and now he loses 7th back to Jack. And at this moment, as Flaw just overtook, oh boy, there goes Luke way off the track. I think that when we caught with Flaw, he was fighting Luke, but I think did Flaw possibly push him off the circuit? Because Flaw was challenging for the 3rd place position, and Luke is now plummeted to 5th, which is only 4 points. Jack is now out of the points, which means, unfortunately, despite Jack's damage, he was giving it his valiant all. To that, I will admit. Now it looks like Sicario's gone for a spin out of the loop. Anyways, by the looks of it, at the moment right now, Dams is now going to be 2 points behind ART. But here comes Luke now on against Pinarello. Actually, Luke has decided, whoa, contact in Chapel, in Beckett's. Oh man, that was not good. Did Pinarello cut him off? There's just mayhem so far in this entire race. Meanwhile, Beatnik looking to eye on Jack into Stowe. Looking at the side cam. And Gerard's in the pits. He sped. Gerard, why is Gerard pitting? Of all the things, why is he pitting from 2nd place? This is the sprint race, so why is he pitting? That just gave Flaw 2nd place, and now High-Tech does not have a 1-2 because this is the sprint race. I don't get why Gerard pitted. That was just not a good idea. So, in a sense, High-Tech just choked the 1-2 because here comes Flaw now to steal the lead from George, but just can't seem to get it done. He's going out to wait. Meanwhile, Luke eyeballing Pinarello again. Meanwhile, the fight for the lead. Flaw, George, battling it out. Contact, just similar to Luke and Pinarello. But this time, Flaw keeps the car control. Meanwhile, Luke decided to wait to go for another shot. Here comes Jacksta, by the way. Jacksta right behind Luke, and Flaw has successfully, on the outside, got past. And looks like George just decided to fight back. Got a little loose out of Stowe. But we have a new leader. Flaw has just taken the lead. So Flaw looking to make his move here. Now this is Flaw's second ever F2 event, and he is looking on point to go for a win. Meanwhile, Bourbon just overtakes FBL to take the 10th place spot. However, that's no points as Beatnik clears Jack. No, Jack's actually fighting back. Beatnik's damaged too. Oh yeah, Beatnik. Wait, yeah, Beatnik is damaged. Yeah, just noticed that. Anyways, here comes Luke on the inside of Pinarello. That's for 3rd place. And this time, Luke is successful, but here comes Pinarello fighting back on the outside, but decides to go back down to the low side. And now Luke is up in the 3rd place. So now, at this moment, Dams is now 1 point behind ART, as Choco has the fastest lap of the race. It looks like Gerard has crashed in the loop and he is out. So that is not good at all. Well, I guess the game glitched or something, because apparently the reason Gerard pitted was because apparently the game told him to. Meanwhile, Beatnik battling Jack again, this time in the Vale chicane, and Beatnik finally gets clear. Now Jack is unfortunately now out of the points now. Meanwhile, Jacksta, go on board with Jacksta, is battling with Pinarello to try to go for the 4th place spot, which is 5 points on this table. Now, here's the thing. Weiso does have a... Whoa, contact! That was a little bit of a late block by Pinarello. And Pinarello caught what he made a mistake on and moves out of the way. And Jackson now up into 4th place. Pinarello is now in 5th, but actually is maintaining now with 4 points. Tapple right behind him. Now Weiso's sitting in 7th right now with 2 points. However, he does have a 3-second penalty for track limits. And at the moment, he's going to be staying in that 7th place spot because Beatnik is 3.3 seconds behind. So Beatnik's got about 4 laps to try to reel in 0.3 of a second on Weiso. But anyways, Flaw, by the way, he's just gone. 2.8 seconds clear of George, and George now has Luke to worry about. He is catching up. Meanwhile, further back in the field, Chaco and Leighton wound up switching positions. Leighton, the co-team principal of Red Bull. Chaco, a reserve for Red Bull Academy. So, Chaco is up in the 12th place, but unfortunately, way off from getting himself into the points, which is inherited by Beatnik at the moment. Now, meanwhile, looks like possibly Jack and Bourbon might be switching positions, as Bourbon is catching up to Jack. Now, Bourbon really wants a shot to get himself into the points and possibly salvage their point lead. Well, actually, he may have to, because Bourbon is 2 seconds behind Beatnik with only 2 laps to go, as Bourbon does switch with Jack, so Bourbon up in the 9th. Meanwhile, Luke has cleared George to take 2nd place, and that right now gives Dams the constructors lead. Now, Bourbon, he has basically just over 2.5 laps to try to reel in Beatnik and steal the last point position. Now, at the moment, Beatnik is now within 3 seconds of Wiseau, so Beatnik will jump himself up into 7th place. Now, if Bourbon actually wants a shot to get himself into the points too, he can try to catch Beatnik and try to take the 8th place spot. But also, he could try to reel in an additional 1.5 seconds on Wiseau, and he can take the 8th place spot from Wiseau because of that penalty he's got. But however, Valkyrie has crashed in Stowe. Let's take a look at the onboard of Leon. There she is, way off into the wall there. Unfortunately, this is towards the end of the race, so she is not going to be. There's going to be no safety car in for this one. And Leighton has gone into the pits. He has retired. So that is the end of Leighton and Valkyrie's day. So right now, by the looks of it, we have two Red Bull drivers, we have 2 Mercedes drivers, and 2 Ferrari drivers. That's their Academy cars that are out of this event. Meanwhile, Alpine still has their drivers still out in the field. Flaw in the lead right now, so he'll get the max of 11 points. Wiseau, right now, is still hanging on to the 8th place spot, which is 1 point. So Virtuosi is looking at, actually no, wait, I'm sorry. Wavy is an Alpine, I'm sorry. Gerard is a Mercedes, so one of everything is out. But anyways, Tadpole is the only other Alpine car still in the field. He's in 6th place, which is only 3 points at the moment. But he could catch Pinarello to try to steal. Well, actually, he can, because Pinarello is in the penalty box. So Tadpole will get that 5th place spot, which is only 4 points, and Pinarello will have to settle for 3. Meanwhile, Beatnik is still within 3 seconds of Wiseau, so he can take the 7th place spot. Bourbon, though, needs to gain just over a second on that group, so he can try to take the last point spot. At the moment, it doesn't look to be the case. Meanwhile, we're on the final lap. We do have a fight here, this time for 3rd. Involving Jaxta and George. Now Jaxta was involved in a bumper cars fiasco with Gerard and Beatnik at the start of the event. Then got into a scuffle with Mythic the very next lap. So Jaxta has had a rough and tough sprint race so far. We're on board with him now. Looks like he might fancy a shot in the cops. Yes, he does, but George puts the door. Full contact, and George goes off the circuit. Now, George tried to squeeze him off, but just couldn't seem to do it. And George now falls into 4th place, but well, here's how it looks. Now this guy, 2 weeks ago, got a podium in Alpine and Zandvoort. Last week in F2, he got double podium in Baku. But in his 3rd ever race, and he will become number 66, Flaw wins for the first time in RPL F2. Luke will come across the line to take 2nd place, and George gets ahead of Jaxta to take 3rd. Jaxta 4th, Tadpole 5, Pinarello 6, Beatnik 7, and Wiseau will claim the last point position. ART 9th and 10th, no points. So So unofficially, Dams is now the constructors' leaders. Oh, there it is. There's Flaw, the winner for the first time in F2, but also the first time winner in RPL. So, good job for him. There you go there. So there it is. So Flaw the winner, Luke second, George third, Jaxa 4, Tapple 5, Pinarello 6, Beatnik 7, Weiso wraps up in 8th for the points. And the rest of the grid, it's Bourbon, Jack, FBL, Mythic, Leon, and that is it for the drivers that finished. Those at DNF though: Chaco, Leighton, Valkyrie, Gerard, Zakaria. And well, this is interesting. So apparently during the F2 event, we just found between we just found like between at the one shot to before the sprint race started. The one shot feature, the sprint race, sorry. But anyways, Liam has been resolved from Mercedes, but we're off and away for the feature, and looks like a great getaway from both the ART and the Camposa Tapple and Bourbon as they head off into there, and Jack goes for a spin, hit by Wavy, and Wavy in trouble for that as well, and multiple individuals around. And wait, Wavy is just, what the hell? Wavy has got, wow. I think, did Wavy just go off the track and just crash himself out? I think. I don't know. But anyways, Luke challenging Tampo to go for second place, and the rain is already hitting. So everyone's just going onto these soft tires and just running off with it as Gerard goes spinning out, and Tampo trying to get clear of Bourbon to get himself in the lead, so he had in the cops, and whoa, baby! Tadpole gets into the lead. Bourbon gets a surprise challenge from Luke. We're looking at the back view of Tadpole. Look at this hyper intense action right here. There's Bourbon, Luke, Jackson, Beatnik, and Valkyrie of all people right there too. Valkyrie is with them. And look at this fight. We have a near three-way fight for the 10th place position. Oh, Beatnik's gone spinning! Beatnik way off the circuit, off into the wall. Back end into the wall. Oh, goodness. Oh, my. And, whoa, contact between Weiso and Pinarello. Weiso and Pinarello getting aggressive with each other. George and Chaco fighting it out. And George gets ahead, but him and Chaco go off the track. And now Bourbon being battled against Luke. God, there's so much action. You can't keep track of everything. Well, Charus has just switched now. Fatflow in the 9th, Mythic in the 10th. And his Bourbon still in third. Luke has gone up in the 2nd place. Chaco's up in the 7th. Bourbon is, like I said, Bourbon is 3rd. His teammate Jack, unfortunately, out of the points at the moment. Let's see. Looks like, okay, B-Nick has gone out early for the wets. As it is starting to rain, so things can happen here. As, not sure what one of Will's was Leighton. I think Leighton just lost control for reasons unknown. But anyways, here comes Luke trying to go through. Trying to see if he can get past Tapple to try to take the lead. We're on board with Luke, most winningest driver in RPL history. 81 career wins to his credit. As Pinarello just cleared Weiso to get himself in the 4th. Here comes Bourbon has decided to take the shot to get himself into, decided to go for the shot to get himself to go for it. And more drivers have gone in there. George has just collected Chaco as those guys pitted. And Tapple into the penalty box for getting into the penalty box for exceeding track limits too much. And Leighton, and we have a VSC now, which means all those guys that are going into the pits now, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen there on the I'm not sure how the rule works with mixed conditions. If there is a mandatory stop or not, but Leighton has crashed in the middle of the hangar straight. Now Fatflow is into the penalty box. But anyways, as we have a VSC deployed, I don't know if this is how this will work, because if there is still a mandatory stop and these guys swap because of the wet conditions, because of this VSC, will that mean that those that didn't get into the pit box yet, they may have to pit again? Oh, we're backing away. George gets a drive-through for speeding. Oh, good God. Anyways, here we go. Tadpole trying to fight, trying to hold off against Luke to keep the lead intact. But now Tadpole will bolt off to the pits to get his stop done. And it looks like Mythic is going off as well. As the wet tires as the wet weather is playing into effect. Now, at the moment, looking at this now with Jack in, that means Flaw, Weiso, Pinarello, Valkyrie, and Luke have yet to pit in this event. So the top 5 have yet to pit. Everyone else has pitted. Now, because of these pits, as Beatnik has just crashed in the entry, and that is a safety car. That is a safety car. So a safety car is deployed, which will actually benefit the top 5. Now Beatnik crashed out at the end of out of the exit of Stowe. Now, the reason it's a safety car is because there was 2 cars coming out, and that was, well, there was one car behind him, and that was the AI of Leon. Now, so this is going to work to the benefit of all the drivers involved that haven't stopped yet. Luke will be leading. Valkyrie is sitting in second place. Now, a couple weeks ago, we mentioned on if Valkyrie could get herself onto the podium. Now, she did get that chance in Spain last week, but she came ever so close. But now, because of the safety car, with the wet tires, this could work to her benefit. Pinarello also in as well, so this will help him out. Meanwhile, the Virtuosi boys are in too. The question is Flaw going to be affected by a double stack? And looks like Flaw is going to be affected slightly. Yeah, Flaw is going to be affected pretty substantially, to say the least. So it looks like Flaw is going to be behind some of these drivers. Let's see if Bourbon can try to jump ahead. And looks like he manages to jump. He manages to jump Wiseau, Tadpole, and Pinarello. Unfortunately, he is going to be stuck behind Valkyrie and Luke. Now Valkyrie is in Carlin. So wait, no, Valkyrie is in the Red Bull car. I'm sorry. So Valkyrie could most likely help Luke out by keeping Bourbon behind as best as possible. That could be the possibility if the Red Bull team orders go into effect on that. Because, I mean, you never know. I mean, Valkyrie could put up a staunching defense and keep Bourbon back while Luke takes off. Now, anyways, well, we have the whole grid reset. So let's get a load of the group as it is now. So Luke is the leader for this event. So Luke is the leader. Valkyrie is sitting in second place. Bourbon is in third. Tadpole 4. Pinarello in fifth. George is 6th. Wiseau 7. Oh, George just got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. For a weird reason. Not sure why. Oh, I think I know. I think it's because he went AI. He went AI and teleported ahead of Wiseau. That could be it. Anyway, so that could be there. So now George is looking at 8 seconds of penalties now because of that. But anyways, Wiseau is 7th. Fanflo is sitting in 8th place. Zakaria 9th. And FBL is in the final points position in 10th place. Anyways, the rest of the grid, it is Jacksta in 11th. Mythic 12th. Flaw in 13th. Jack in 14th. Well, Leon's AI, so unfortunately he'll be removed from there. Gerard is 16th, and Chaco, Gerard is 15th, and Chaco is in, Wait, no, Choco left too. Okay, so never mind. So Gerard is 15th, and that is it. Leon and Choco have left. I'm not sure how long Choco left. How long it's been with Choco leaving. But Leon left, I believe, has been AI pretty much since the start of the feature race. And whoa! And Waiso just bumps off of George. I'm thinking Waiso's supposed to get this place back, isn't he? But thankfully there was no incident. There was no penalty for there between those two. But anyways, we'll have to wait and see on that. And oh wait, what happened here? Oh, okay, Leon's AI is pitting, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Anyways. But anyway, so we're still under the safety car, so probably we'll be going one more lap under the safety car, and then we'll be going back to under green flag conditions. But at this moment, so if that does happen, we're at the halfway point of this feature race. Luke is looking to go for his his 40th career victory. Valkyrie, Valkyrie is looking for her first podium, but I mean, she'd be extremely lucky and probably extremely happy if she could claim a first RPL F2 win. That would be interesting to say the least. But anyway, so there is that. We'll be going back to green very shortly. Wondering what was going on with the Waiso and George thing. Because I think it's most likely probably George did maybe teleported, overtaken George, overtaken Waiso and got penalized for it. That could be the case, but anyways, so safety car is in. Yep, safety car is in. So Luke in control. So for this restart, let's go on board with Valkyrie. Let's see how Valkyrie reacts to Luke's restarts. Let's see if she's willing to stay on tune with her boss. Here we go. And it looks like Luke is just taken out by the exit of Stowe. Valkyrie, a horrible reaction, but stays ahead. We're off and away. And off and away for sure. Luke, almost 2 seconds clear of Valkyrie. We're back in the way in RPL 2. We're on board now with Bourbon as he is just muscling his way to try to get past Valkyrie to get into second place. He's trying, and looks like he is successful. He's in, he's up in the second place. Tadpole slingshotting himself in to get himself into third. And there goes Pinarello on the outside, the challenge for fourth. And Pinarello drifting out of the loop. And oh, there goes someone off. That's Philip Fanflo off. Goes off the circuit. Whoa, George and Pinarello bumping and banging. Here goes Waiso, make a 3-wide fight. They're squashed. These guys are squashed in, to say the least. But anyways, Waiso fighting his way in to get himself into 5th place. Pinarello's going to have to settle for 6th for right now. Now George is up in the 4th, but bear in mind he's got 8 seconds of penalties, a track limit penalty, and ignoring yellow flags penalty. Here comes that. Oh, contact! That was on Pinarello, unfortunately. Just overshot to get past Valkyrie to get ahead, but inadvertently tags Waiso, and he is going around and out of it. Jackson now battling Zakaria for his 7th place spot. This is for 6 points right now. Zakaria would love nothing more to get himself into the points. He slingshots it away and tries to get ahead, and he's successful ahead of Jackson. Meanwhile, right behind, Flaw gets ahead of FPL to get himself into there. And George has gone into the pits now. And Pinarello has retired from the event, and we have a VSC now because of Pinarello's crash. And now safety car is now deployed because of it. So a safety car, it was a VSC, now it's another safety car. Pinarello crashes out on the hangar straight, and that is the end of that. A safety car did come out, but unfortunately, too late to catch the field. Well, Mythic is trying to get past. The safety car. He does. Safety car just getting himself into the way. Anyway, so there is that. Well, that's unfortunate there. Anyway, so there is that. So, another safety car. We didn't even get to go a full lap before the safety car. Before the safety car came back out. But anyway, so Luke is still going to be the leader. So, once everyone files back in, looks like we're probably going to restart with like 4 laps to go, maybe. But anyway, so what a restart that was. We had Luke getting a restart of the century, pretty much. Valkyrie wound up getting ganged up on by Tadpole and Bourbon. Jaxta and Zakaria wound up having a crazy scrap. FBL and Flaw had a scuffle as well. Anyways, so everybody is now filing back into line and back into position, and this is now what we got. So here is our now reset top 10. So Luke is still leading. We have Tadpole in 2nd. Bourbon is sitting in 3rd. Wiseau is in 4th position. Valkyrie is sitting in P5. Zakaria P6. Jax is 7th. Flaw in 8th. Jack in 9, and FBL rounds out the top 10. The remaining drivers in this field, we have Gerard in 11th, Mythic in 12th, Fatflow in 13th, and last but not least is George in 14th. So Luke will be commanding this field. I mean, how crazy would it be for Luke to set not 1, not 2, literally to set a 3rd milestone and set a new milestone for the 3rd week in a row? Because literally, Luke is currently at the moment. He is the most winningest driver in RPL history. He's got 81 right now. If he does manage to win today, this is number 82. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe by the end of F123, Luke will probably have more wins than freaking Lewis Hamilton. And if that does happen, then we'll just say officially, L74G, aka Luke, is better than Lewis Hamilton. If that does happen. Anyways, so here we go. So we're on lap 10 of 15. So we have 5 laps left until this race is over. Now, like I said, Luke is looking to be a perennial runner to get the job done to win this race. Tadpole right behind, but unfortunately he has that a track limit penalty, so unfortunately unless he gets past Luke, he's gonna have to pull a major gap of 3 seconds in order to keep that lead. So unfortunately, I don't think if Tadpole didn't have the penalty, he could be a shot to win this race. But because he does, I hate to say it, but Tadpole's not gonna be a bit of a factor. Bourbon, though, he has a shot. Now, Bourbon is the Season 11 F2 champion. He has the capability to try to reignite that fire that he had back in Season 11. He has the capability to get it done. But only time can tell on what will happen. But anyway, so safety car should be in this time. Is it? No, it's not. Safety car is staying out because George and the AI and Leon have not caught up. So it looks like we're gonna have to wait another lap. So we're on lap 11 of 15. So when we cross the line, we're going to be at 12, which means we're going to have just 3 laps left in this feature race, and we'll have a winner decided. Now, I just did check beforehand. Now, not including those that DNF'd. Not including those that DNF'd, currently the 2 biggest movers in this event, you got Zakaria, who gained 12 positions from the start, and then you have FBL, who gained 10 positions at the start. So FBL started dead last in the feature race, and then Zakaria, started 18th, and he is up into some good points. Now, the biggest losers at the moment, well, sad to say, the 2 biggest losers, it's George with 8 positions lost, because he started in 8th, he's now in 16th, and Jacksta is the 2nd biggest loser with 3. Started 4th, is now in 7th. So we should be getting back under green conditions very shortly. But anyway, so here we go. Safety car should be in. Yes, it is. So now it's just like with Zakaria, just like with Valkyrie on the last one. Let's see if Tadpole can do a better restart than Valkyrie did. Now, to be fair, probably Valkyrie had a slow restart because it was against her boss. So, just have to wait and see when Luke will go. Now, Luke took off at the exit of Stowe. He took off right here. And looks like he's doing it again. But Tadpole, slightly later reaction, but is actually much closer than Valkyrie did. And we're back underway with only 3 to go in this race. Here we go. Let's see what happens now. As these drivers are just filing their way into position, Meanwhile, let's go a little bit further back as Zakaria might be thinking of warranting a shot on Valkyrie. Sends a wild shot down the inside. Valkyrie with a crossover tap between Valkyrie and Zakaria. And, well, Valkyrie slipping and sliding, but stays in it, but loses multiple spots. Falls to 9th place. Zakaria, I'm not sure what happened in turn 3, but that dive bomb shot into turn 2 turn 3 was a wild shot, but turn 4, I'm not sure what happened there. But here comes Jackson now, coming back onto Zakaria to try to get himself into that 5th place spot. While Valkyrie falls to 9th place. Flaw right behind, pressuring Jack to get there. And it looks like Luke just lost the lead to Tadpole. But remember, Tadpole's got that 3-second track limit penalty. So anything is possible here. As they're side by side in the Maggots. In the Chapel. Not Chapel, Beckett's. They're side by side. They're contact. Tadpole loses out now. Here goes Bourbon on the outside to try to get himself into 2nd place. Wiseau is looking on a podium as well. Zakaria just plummeted to 8th place. Zakaria was battling Jagsta. Not sure what happened between those two. Meanwhile, Jack is actually coming back. He's up into 6th place. Jack is up into 6th place. Who has the fastest lap right now? Oh, Tadpole does. Okay, so Tadpole is the fastest lap. But anyway, so there's that. Wiseau is looking at, Wiseau's looking at a net podium right now. So Wiseau just needs to play it calm and cool, and he is looking at a podium. There comes Flaw again on the inside of Jack. And Jack just pushes his arms out wide, saying, "No, you ain't getting past." But here goes Flaw again on the shot again. We're on board with Jack. He's looking back. There's Flaw right behind. There goes Flaw again, thinking of it. Sees a sneak peek, but can't seem to get it done. We're on board with Wiseau as Bourbon is trying to challenge Tadpole on the outside, but just can't seem to get it done. Bourbon is just being roadblocked by Tadpole. Tadpole has that 3-second penalty, which right now I think it's gonna plummet him to 7th place at this moment. But Wiseau is looking at a podium place right now. George is in the penalty box. With just over a lap to go. I mean, literally, it is a battle between the 2nd and 3rd place cars, but like I said, Tadpole has that penalty, though. Meanwhile, Jaxa is trying to reel in Wiseau, but just can't seem to get close, and Fenflow's crashed. Now it's back in action. That's good. Anyways, here comes Flaw. Again on Jack. Jack is just harassed. Oh, lordy, nice save. Nice save by Flaw. Wow. He was just drifting. He was just doing major Tokyo drift out of Vale. But keeps it in there. Oh my. I can't speak, but we're on the final lap here. RPL gets clear George to get into 10th place. He's got let's see, wait. Well, George is in the penalty box. Well, George is in the penalty box with 11. Mythic is only 3.2, so he's got to gain a little more to get himself into 10th place, unfortunately. But anyways, wow. There's just so much action, so much intensity. RPL just gets ahead of Valkyrie, but Valkyrie will get that 9th place back. She just has to be careful here. Ooh, that was close. That was kind of close there, but what a moment there. But Hard to believe. Take a look at this guy. So, 2 weeks ago in F1, secured his 40th career victory in Zandvoort. Last week, Baku Sprint collected 80 career victories in all 3 divisions, in F1, F2, and Tier 2. And here today, he is going to create another milestone. Luke wins the feature and collects win number 40. Tadpole gets crosses the line in second, but falls to 4th. Bourbon is second. Jack's the 3rd. Weiso disconnect. What? Weiso disconnected. He got plummeted to 7th. That can't be right. Yeah, Weiso got disconnected. He got plummeted to 7th place. So I think Weiso will get 3rd. Jacksta is 4th. Tadpole 5th. Tadpole is going to be 5th. Flaw disconnected too. Both the Virtuosi cars disconnected. I think we're going to have to figure out what went wrong with the ARTs. Yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out there to try to figure out where these guys officially finished. But we'll have to get that solved, to say the least. But we did see Weiso was in 3rd, and then he disconnected. So something happened there. But we're gonna have to get that figured out and fixed on what happened. But Luke collects F2 win number 40. What a milestone there. What a moment there, to say the least. But anyway, so here is the roster here for the finish. But like I said, we're gonna have to figure out what happened between the virtuoses of Weiso and Flaw, but not officially right now. It is Luke the winner, Bourbon 2nd, Jack's the 3rd, Tadpole 4, Flaw 5th, Jack 6, Weiso 7, Sicaria 8, Valkyrie 9, and FBL is in 10th. And then the rest of it is Mythic in 11th, Leon 12, Gerard 13, and that is it. Then the rest of these guys, Gerard is 14th, but Chaco was 15th, but he was out. Fanflo 16th, he's out. And the DNFers, it was Pinarello, Beatnik, Leighton, and Wavy to wrap it off. So that is going to conclude the F's. Yeah, so that was that there. Oh, apparently Weiso got a 3-second track limit penalty right at the final corner. That's what happened. Okay. So anyway, so that is going to conclude the F2 stream for today. Now, in a few hours, I will be back in action for F1, where we'll be doing round 16, which is going to be at Singapore. Let's see. But yeah, we'll get that figured out. So we'll get that noted there. So yeah, so Singapore is the race for later on in a few hours. So we will see you guys then. So from RPL Streams, this is Ironwolf saying good night and good day, and we'll see you later.